So what is an emergency fund? How do I get one and how much do I need to have in it? In this video, we will provide a comprehensive guide of everything you need to know about emergency funds. Before we begin, please like this video and hit the subscribe button with notifications turned on so you will be first to know about new content. Our mission at the Personal Finance and Investing channel is to empower people to achieve financial independence. Subscribing will help us achieve that goal. Now, let's get back to today's video. We've all experienced some form of unexpected financial hardship: a car accident, a medical bill that came out of nowhere, repairs to something at home, job loss, etc. Think about the last time this happened to you. How did you handle it? Did you have cash available to cover that emergency? If so, congratulations, you had an emergency fund. If not, what did you do? Put the expense on a credit card? Borrow money from someone? That's understandable, but not sustainable. Today we'll cover everything you need to know to get step 1 of financial freedom in place: a fully funded emergency fund. Let's start by defining what an emergency fund is. Simply put, it is a cash reserve that is set aside and immediately available for unplanned financial needs or emergencies. By immediately available, we mean that the money is in a checking or savings account that you can access right away and not locked in some vault someplace or in some account that will take several days to get the money from. It is available immediately. So why do you need an emergency fund? The answer is straightforward: there will always be unplanned expenses in life. The real question is whether you want to have one emergency or two that you have to deal with. Meaning, if you have an emergency fund, you only have to deal with the car repairs. If you don't have an emergency fund, you'll have two problems: how to deal with the car repairs and how to pay for them. This can cause major headaches and stress and can leave you vulnerable to the next time that life throws you a curveball. Trust me when I say that your emergency fund will give you the greatest peace of mind of any of the steps to financial freedom. How much do you need in your emergency fund? There are two parts to this answer. The first is that you need $1,000 as soon as humanly possible. The second is that after you make progress on some additional financial independence steps, you need to set aside an amount that is equal to up to 6 months of critical expenditures: food, shelter, transportation, etc. Note that this only includes critical expenditures and does not include streaming subscriptions or eating out. The reason we focus on 6 months is because if you experience unexpected job loss or medical bills, it is entirely possible that you might not be able to recover your income for 3 to 6 months. Depending on the economy and your skills and experiences, it might take up to 6 months to find another equivalent job after a layoff. While we don't expect this to happen, even traditionally safe companies have recently been announcing layoffs. No one ever expects it to happen to them until it happens to them. Be ready to weather this storm by having 6 months of expenses saved up so you can survive in the event of job loss. Where do I put my emergency fund? As mentioned before, don't put it someplace that will take you more than a day to access. In a true emergency, you may need the money right away. Don't commingle your emergency fund with your normal account so you don't run the risk of spending it. Here are some great places to keep your emergency fund. Cash. I am a little hesitant to list this since I personally don't love having a lot of cash on hand. But the reality is that if you set aside an envelope with $1,000 for a basic emergency fund, then you've done what you need to do. Savings account. This should be connected to your checking account so you can access it right away. Money market account. This is an account that functions similar to a checking account, although it is slightly different. Make sure that this account has debit card or check writing privileges associated with it so you can access the money right away. How should you go about setting aside the money for an emergency fund? Here is a list of things you can do to gather your emergency fund. 1. Cut back on expenditures. It is highly likely that there is some money flowing out of your account that you don't need to spend. For example, stop buying that expensive cup of coffee on your way to work every day. Cancel the streaming subscription. Cook at home rather than eating out. There are likely a number of things you can do to reduce your expenditures. This could give you a very quick way of getting your first $1,000 set aside, and it will also establish better spending habits that will have a long-term benefit to your financial situation. 2. Cut back on investments. If you are currently saving money for any purpose such as retirement, that's great. Good for you. However, the more financially prudent step is to pause those investments until you at least have an emergency fund available. While the rate of return might be better in getting an employer match on 401k contributions, it is imperative that you set aside money that is immediately available for your emergency fund. Once you have $1,000 set aside, then you can go back to investing for the future. 3. Sell something you have but don't need. If you are like a lot of people, you probably have things around the house that you don't really need. In this case, you could gather those things up and have a garage sale or list them on a site like Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist to sell them to someone. It is often surprising how much money you can scrape together selling things that you don't actually need. Dave Ramsey, a renowned financial expert who advocates strongly for an emergency fund, jokes that you should sell so many things at home that the dog and kids get scared. 4. Save your tax return, bonus, or other unexpected income. Instead of spending the money that you get, the best thing to do is to save it and chip away at your emergency fund or get it fully funded in one fell swoop. 5. Get a side hustle that can bring in more income. There are a surprising number of easy and convenient ways that you could generate some additional income. Here are a number of ideas for how to generate extra income. Starting with doing gig work. Delivering groceries for Instacart or Shipt. Delivering food for delivery services like DoorDash, Grubhub, or Uber Eats. Drive for a rideshare service like Uber or Lyft. Become a freelancer on sites like Upwork, Fiverr, Freelancer.com. Perform gigs for people on sites like TaskRabbit.com or Handy.com. Gig work is often a great way to earn income because you can utilize your assets and skills and do it on your own schedule. So you could drive for a few hours on nights or weekends when it doesn't interfere with work or personal obligations. By making your own schedule, you determine when you are available and how quickly you get your emergency fund established. Other ways to increase income include: open an Etsy store and sell arts, crafts. Take surveys online. Several sites will allow you to take surveys and get paid to offer your opinions. Rent your home or spare room on Airbnb.com or Vrbo.com. Rent storage space like a parking spot or attic space on Neighbor.com. Babysit using sites like Care.com. House sit using sites like TrustedHouseSitters.com. Walk dogs or pet sit using sites like Rover.com. Clean houses, do yard work, shovel driveways. Become a photographer, including for real estate. You can even become a drone pilot to take real estate video footage. Online tutoring on sites like Tutor.com, TutorMe.com, or StudyPool.com. Making money online via digital marketing, dropshipping, affiliate marketing, write and publish an ebook. So bottom line, get started right away to put $1,000 aside so you have a basic emergency fund. Don't do anything else on your financial situation until you have this step completed. Later on down the road, you can build up your emergency fund even more to have a full 6 months of expenses set aside. Then you'll be in great shape. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Also, let us know if you have specific topics or questions you want us to address in future videos. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can help achieve our mission of empowering people to achieve financial independence. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.